Today we're making odd fodder. Chicken soup in a crock pot. No rules, no recipe, but it's gonna be delicious! So come on into my kitchen and cook with me. Hi everyone, I'm Christine Dashanka and I'm on a journey to lose 150 pounds through a ketogenic lifestyle and spiritual growth. And today we're making what I like to call odd fodder. Hashtag odd fodder. What is odd fodder? Well, it's basically a recipe that isn't a recipe, utilizing odds and ends that are left over in your fridge to make something that is actually edible, scrumdiddlyocious delicious, and low carb, high flavor. There will be some fat because we're using chicken thighs and chicken legs, but it's going to be great. So I'm going to bring you in and show you what I'm working with. Oh, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click that notification bell and turn it to all. Hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and leave any of your questions or comments below, and also follow me on Instagram. The link is below. Okay, so let's get into what I'm working with today. Okay, so what I have here is some odds and ends from my fridge. A few cloves of garlic, a pretty spindly, on its last legs, bit of celery, about 2/3 of a head of cabbage, a yellow onion, some baby carrots that are starting to be on their last legs. I also had some pablano peppers that I bought a couple weeks ago. They were on sale. I've never cooked with these before, but I pre-roasted them in the oven to get the skins off. It was quite easy. I just washed them, rubbed them with some olive oil, and I put them under the broiler in the oven at 475 degrees Fahrenheit, and I turned them every 5 minutes until the skins were quite blistered and starting to turn black. Then I put them in this bowl. I covered them with cling wrap and let them sit for about 10 minutes to deflate, as you can see. They were in the oven for maybe 20 minutes tops at the 475, so keep that in mind, it's pretty quick. And then the skins just come off real easy. I am going to have to take the seeds out, but I'll do that with you. So that's what I did ahead of time. I also have here 4 chicken leg thigh combination, whatever you call that, with the backs attached. These were purchased on sale. They were in the freezer for a while. I took them out, thawed them, and then I actually took the skin off. I deboned the drumstick part. I've left the thighs intact with the bone because I want the flavor from that in the soup. But I've taken the skin off and most of the fat because chicken legs and thighs are quite fatty. So any of the visible fat, there's still some. You can see here, there's still some of it, but I took most of it off. I also have here some dry bay leaves because my mother always taught me if you're making any type of stew or soup, put bay leaves in it. I don't know what they do other than adding extra flavor. What that flavor is, I have no idea, but my mother always did it, so I'm doing it. If you don't have these, don't worry about it. And then I also have Organika Bone Broth, which is a powdered collagen bone broth. This is a beef one, even though we're making a chicken soup. I like to add this because I have it on hand. I also have some regular old Campbell's chicken broth. Now, if you want to go organic or if you want to go full bone broth, you go right ahead and do what you got to do. But, you know, I don't buy organic unless it's inexpensive. And this is what we buy. So, does it have MSG? Yes, it does. Does that matter in this case? Not really. I also have some seasonings, some turmeric powder, some Epicure spinach. This is actually a dip mix, but it has some great ingredients in it, which are onion, red bell pepper, carrot, spinach, inactive nutritional yeast, which is your B vitamins, and some herbs, garlic, and black pepper. So pretty clean ingredients. The carbs are only 1 gram per half teaspoon. It is a dip mix, like I said, but I like to use it for regular seasoning as well. And then, of course, we also have our pink Himalayan sea salt and black pepper. And I don't know, I might throw in a couple other things. I also have my large measuring cup set aside for some extra water that I'll be adding to mix my bone broth powder. So, like I said, this is just a soup made with odds and ends that are kind of left over in your fridge. Maybe they're starting to die a bit and it's close to grocery day, whatever the case may be, and you just want to use up what's in your fridge. That's what we're doing. So it doesn't have to be chopped up in any sort of way. I'm just cutting it up so that it cooks up and breaks down easily. Yeah, I'm using the leaves and everything. It's all good flavor. So what I do for the garlic is I just take my knife, the flat part of my knife, and just put it on top of the garlic and crack it. And then it usually comes off pretty easy. Break it up a little, get the juices flowing. My other one. If you want to mince the garlic, go right ahead. Do whatever you prefer to do. For me, it doesn't really matter. I have my onion here. This is just I don't know, I would call this a small to medium-sized yellow onion. I've already skinned it just to make things flow a little easier here. And once again, just a rough chop. It doesn't have to be too small because we're doing this in the crock pot, so it's going to cook for a few hours and everything's going to get nice and soft. So you don't have to be meticulous with your chopping. You know what I'm going to say here? It don't have to be fancy, people. It don't have to be fancy.
That is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
Alright, I'm going to do my cabbage last. Just want to get these carrots out of the way. These carrots are... Yes, it's carrots. Carrots on keto is okay as long as you don't go overboard. Are they a carb, a higher carb vegetable? Yes, they are. But if you're not eating the whole bag, then it's fine. Follow the serving size and make sure that your carb allowance for the day isn't going over. Besides, this is the amount that's going into my entire soup. This soup will last me probably a week. So I'm just giving these a rough chop, just so that I don't have big, huge chunks. So there is no recipe here because it's just, like I said, what I've got in the fridge. So you can use whatever meat you want, you can use whatever vegetables you have. Every time I make odd fodder soup, it's always different. But I have yet to make one that I don't like. My cabbage is nice and fresh, that's why it's hard to cut through. Kind of forgot that I had it in the fridge, so I thought, okay, well, we'll put that in the soup today. So I'm going to actually put this in the crock pot now, just so that I have more room to work with. Okay. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. Pretty soft. The skins came off super easy, so that was nice. Oh, this is easy too. Look at that. It's just coming right out. So I did this ahead of time because I figured with the roasting of them to get the skins off, I figured it would be kind of boring, and I like I said, I had never worked with these before, so I didn't even know if I was doing it right, but it worked out. Just gonna give it a rough chop as well. Okay, now that our vegetables are all chopped, I'm going to take my chicken and my bay leaves and I'm going to just put them in the crock pot. My crock pot is quite small. I don't have one of those big oval ones. We have a small kitchen with not a lot of cupboard space, and so we tend to use smaller things. But that's good. I'm hoping everything's going to fit. I have no idea how much chicken is here. It's 4 chicken legs with the back attached, which I removed when I was taking the skin off and deboning the drumsticks. It feels like it's around 2.5 pounds, maybe 3 pounds of chicken. And I'm just gonna slip this right in. My cabbage is already in there. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, but we'll get through it.
I'll never wear a thought about like, can you rip it? No.
The cabbage will break down pretty quickly, so I'm not worried. I think we'll do a bit of seasoning at this point. So we're doing our salt, pink salt that I'm just gonna grind right in. Being quite generous here with it. That's pretty good. Black pepper, I'm going to do a teaspoon. Teaspoon and a half. My Epicure spinach dip. Do a couple of teaspoons of that. Turmeric powder, about a teaspoon. This is going to stain your skin and clothes, so make sure that you don't touch it. It is great though. It adds a turmeric flavor. I don't know how to describe the taste. It will make your soup have a yellow tinge to it if you don't add the tomatoes. And it's a great anti-inflammatory. It's a root. I think it's in the ginger family. And yeah, I often add it to my odd fodder soups. And I think I will add a little bit of the sage, because we're working with chicken and sage, you know. Sage is quite potent, so I'm only going to do half a teaspoon. Now that all of our seasonings are in, I'm going to add the rest of the vegetables. So our carrots, our garlic, our onion, and our poblanos, and just kind of mash it down a bit. Okay, so like I said, I am going to be using some powdered bone broth. This is optional. I just like the added protein and collagen that this adds to the soups. This is a Canadian brand. I also use their bovine collagen in my tea in the mornings. If you'd like to see a what I eat in a day type of video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll throw that together. So I'm just going to take a couple of heaping tablespoons. I'm going to add 2 cups of water. just whisk it up to break it up. This water's already been boiled. You can see the steam, I'm sure. It's a really good bone broth. So, and you can buy it online at, I believe their website is organika.ca. I'll link it below. So I'm just going to pour that into my crock pot. And I'm going to take 2 cups of the Campbell's chicken soup broth. Again, use whatever. If you make your own bone broth from scratch, hallelujah. I just don't have that kind of time or desire to have something cooking for 48 hours. I'm gonna pour that in my crock pot. I think I'm gonna add just 1.5 cups more water. So I'm just gonna pour that in. Just a little extra water to kind of make sure everything's going to mesh together well. And we have a lot of aromatic vegetables with the celery and the onion and the garlic and the carrot. So here we go, setting it to high. I'm gonna be checking it periodically just to give it a stir because it's so full. Probably once an hour I'll come in and just give it a stir with my spatula that I have over here. So we're about 2 hours in. I'm just going to check. Ooh, give it a little bit of a stir. So I don't think I'm going to need to add any extra water or broth because as you can see there's plenty there. The cabbage is starting to break down, so that's good. Just going to give it a quick stir. Okay, so we're back. I've actually let it cook for 5 hours because I had to go pick up my daughter from school. So let's just open it up and take a look. Ooh, nice. Looks pretty good. Chicken is cooked perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chicken out. I do have some boneless drumsticks in here, so I'll just leave those in. So I took the bone out of them already when I took the skin off. But I have 4 of the thighs that do have the bone. So that's what I'm digging out. So I'm just basically gonna take the bone off, take off any gristle. It's really easy because it's so soft that it's just gonna fall right off basically. See how easy that comes off? Okay, so now I'm just going to put it back into the pot, and I think I'm going to try using the electric hand mixer to shred the chicken further. If you wanted to leave it chunky like this, go right ahead. It's your soup. You do your soup the way you want to do your soup. So I'm just going to dump the chicken back in. Okay, let's give this a whirl. That's working quite nicely. This is the easiest way to shred meat. Shredding your meat, in this case chicken, also thickens the soup as well. pot, chicken. Get back in the pot. If you can hear any noise in the background, that's my daughter watching YouTube. That's what we do. We watch more YouTube than regular television. Okay, I'm just going to give this a stir. Look at that. It's nicely shredded. Some of the vegetables might have gotten a little bit shredded too. That's okay. But it looks like we're golden. Looks amazing. This way you also ensure that you get chicken in every spoonful. Mmm. Delicieux. Delicieux. Okay, so now that it's fully shredded, I'm just going to put the lid on and let it cook on high still for about another hour.
1 hour later.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Look at all the veggies, the cabbage, the chicken. Mmm. Yum. So I'm going to ladle just a little bit into my bowl and do a taste test. When I had everything in the crock pot and I checked it in about an hour and a half into the cooking, I forgot that I didn't put any apple cider vinegar in. This is the kind that I use with the mother. I put in about 1/4 cup worth. That's totally optional. I just like the added flavor that it gives. It gives a little bit of extra tang to the soups. And it helps to break down the meat a little more and make it more tender and juicy. Now what I also like to do whenever I'm eating soup, I love to add some lemon juice in. Now of course this is a bottled lemon juice. If you have fresh lemons that would be preferred. But you know, this is what I've got, so that's what I do. Give it a little shake. Put a few squirts in. Give it a stir. I also love to add chia seeds to my bowl of soup. That's really good and it helps get your fiber and omega fats as well. Chia seeds are really great for that. Okay, so let's give it a taste. I'm going to get a bit of cabbage. There's chicken in every bite because we shredded it. Some carrot there. Now, yes, we did use carrots, but you know, we're not eating the whole soup in one sitting. There's several servings there. This will last at least a week in my house. So here we go. Let's give it a taste. That's good. No heat from the pablano, so I'm a little disappointed in that. I was expecting a little bit of a kick. But it's really good. So this just goes to show you that even with vegetables that are starting to get past their prime in your fridge, chicken or other meats that you may have had in your freezer for a little too long, you can still make something amazing, healthy, keto friendly just by throwing them all in a crock pot and adding some seasoning and some broth and some liquids to it. And then now I have soup for at least a week. This is probably going to be my break fast, or my fasting breaker for the next week or so. It's also family friendly, so if you have kids who are picky eaters, put the things in the pot that you know they will eat. Or if it's stuff that you know they don't necessarily like, but you want them to eat it anyway, that's why we shred it up. Shred it up in that pot. They won't know it's there. There you go. So I hope that you like this video. If you want to see more crockpot videos, or if you'd like to see more odd fodder type videos where I just throw a bunch of stuff together and hope it turns out nice and tasty, then let me know in the comments. And don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell and turn it to all so you never miss an upload. Give me the thumbs up, smash that like button, leave a comment below. Let me know what type of out of the fridge odd fodder type stuff you make. And yeah, that's that. Follow me on Instagram. The link is down below. And don't forget to give yourself license to keto. Thanks for watching. Bye for now, and I'll see you again soon. Mwah! I got lip gloss all over my hand. Ooh, lip gloss on my hand. Some more of this soup.